I think the audiences will take away a great time. They will recognize lots of iconic people and scenes that they've seen in Sex and the City, Devil Wears Prada, a lot of great stuff.
I first met Patricia Field when we were fitting for the pilot of Ugly Betty, and it was the first time I really understood what fashion was being in a room with her while she put together a look. Took pieces from this and that and created something incredibly special and unique. I'd never seen anyone do that before, and certainly had never had anyone do it on me before. And that's what it was like working with her. You know, we would spend an hour on a look, and she would, try a this and a that and a this and a that, and by the end of it, it was fashion. And I owe her a lot. I'm interviewed as one of the actors who's worked with her over the years, and I think as one of the actors who was most probably influenced by her. We were able to do such incredible things together on that show and make such amazing fashion-forward choices with a male character, a male-presenting character wearing high fashion. It was like a really exciting opportunity and moment, and so I was like honored to be in her stable of people. So it was a no-brainer for me to be part of the movie when they asked. There's so much more than the sum of her parts. She's like a stylist, she's a costume designer, but she's an artist. She's like a real, she has the mind of an artist the same way as like a genius painter or a sculptor or musician. She thinks in terms of like making a piece of art, and you might not realize that when you see a look put together at the end of the process, but it is an artistic process.
Before COVID, I was working on a 4-part documentary series called American Style for CNN, and I interviewed many, 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 many wonderful people. Pat was one of them. It was the first time we had met, and she left the interview, and I turned to my crew and I was like, somebody needs to make a documentary about this woman. And that was kind of the beginning of it. And then I started thinking, I should make a documentary. And, went to approach her, and we worked it out. So here we are. I moved to New York in the mid-'80s, and I remember going to her store. And then, of course, I watched Sex and the City like everybody else, and Devil Wears Prada and all of her shows and her work. And so she means a lot to me. I've always seen something really unique in her style, the mixing and matching of the high-low and mixing patterns and things like that. So when I met her and she was as funny and smart as you see in the film, she just kind of lived up to any of my expectations, above my expectations. She's a great subject, super funny and super talented, and that's all you can really ask for in a documentary subject. I think fans can have a fun moment in the nostalgia of seeing some of her past work. But I think the most important thing that they get is watching Pat's process. That was the main thing that I wanted to show. I didn't want to just do interviews and archival footage. I wanted people to see how Pat works and get inside her head and be a fly on the wall. So you get to see her shopping and working with actors and working on TV shows and doing her life and working with her co-writer of her memoir and things that people don't normally see. You get and a fitting's really important. You get to see, instead of seeing the finished outfit, you get to see, well, how did they get there? Because her mind works in crazy ways, and it's like a beautiful thing to watch. I hope people really feel good after this film. I hope they walk out happy. I think it's not just, Pat calls things happy clothes, which is where the title came from, but she also sort of lives her life, and I like happy around me. Like, she talks about how she would never want to do like a war movie. She only takes like romantic comedies and things like that. Happy is her thing. So I would love for people to leave the theater feeling really good.
It was fun to do, actually. And I love the boys. They were great with me. And then Kim joined me, and so she's in it as well. And it was good. But the first scene, I was surprised because Michael asked me, what do I do for exercise? I said, I basically swim. So he rented a pool for me in Chelsea. I'm not far from here. And I was like, it turned out he put that as the first scene in the documentary. I'm like, you don't even know it's me because I'm like, it was cute.